Hey everybody, welcome to another one of Chris's beer reviews. I actually had a special request recently, and that is to do the You Got It Laker Lager. I bought this at $7.95 a six pack. It is a 5% ABV at 341 milliliters a bottle. Um, there's your Laker cap there. Now, for those out there who are familiar with this beer, there's very many other beers like it. First and foremost, I'm going to start off with saying, does anybody remember those songs that you'd get on the advertisements you get on the radio? Has anybody ever wondered where they've gone? Um, i.e., Maker, a Laker, buy a buck of beer. That's what the song used to be. Um, well, if you're wondering why you're not hearing that anymore, that is because uh, Laker or beer companies in general were not allowed to advertise dollar bottle beer anymore because it was encouraging alcoholism, according to this organization that fought against them. This government organization, of course. Um, so, also, I'd like to say that I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't really have a glass on me today. I'm going to actually be drinking this straight out of the bottle. Beers that are like this, I'm not particularly a huge fan of. Okay, straight up and honest. Of course, the beer snob that I am, you can understand why I wouldn't be a big fan of dollar bottle beer. Um, I don't remember what it tastes like at all, but I can tell you that I'm choosing to drink this out of the bottle because beers like this I prefer drinking out of a bottle because that taste. If somebody doesn't like beers like this, but they like other kinds of beers, the taste that you get from this will be amplified when you put it in a glass, which is why you normally pour almost all beer in a glass to enjoy them more than drinking them in a bottle. So rather than making this taste more like something that I'm not going to like, I decided to kind of, you know, make it a little bit lesser of a pain in the butt for me. So here it goes. There's very many other beers out there of this caliber. I can say Lucky Lager. I don't know if I can say James Ready. It's close. All right. People call it JR. It's close. People prefer it usually because it's 5.5% ABV versus the traditional 5% ABV that you're getting from these kinds of beers. Another thing that I wanted to say, sorry, I just wanted to give a couple more examples of just what I remember. A couple more examples of beers that are like this. I said Lucky Lager, Laker. Oh, geez, there's more. I can't think of them right now. A lot of people felt that they couldn't deal with this beer unless they were drinking the Laker Honey or Honey Laker. You got the idea. They try to throw as much flavor into these as possible to get people to like them more, but they really are just like a very cheap beer. Not really picking up on much in the aromas. I have a very bad nose today, a little congested. So there you have it. Frat boy beer. Not really making fun of it. It's just people who are just generally starting to get into beer usually end up going the cheapest beer route possible at the beginning, and then they end up working their way up. Hence, frat boy beer. Sure, lots of people start in high school. Unfortunately, some people start in elementary school. Definitely not on that list. And yeah, I guess the reason why people can drink these beers is because people who do not like many different types of beer out there generally don't like to explore because of the hoppiness of a beer. So one thing that this beer is at least able to make up for, being not hoppy almost whatsoever, but it is very malty. So people who like these types of beers generally tend to grow up enjoying malty beers versus hoppier beers. If I take somebody who's into this, who stands by this, and I introduce them to an IPA, there's something about the hoppiness of an IPA that just throws them right off. They're not into it. They don't even really understand that what they're drinking has anything to do with grapefruit. Um, it's funny. I'm doing this Laker review. I feel terrible because I wanted to give a shout out to the guy who wanted me to review it. But I will do that in the description, so you can at least check out the description, so you know who encouraged me to drink this beer. I do believe it may even be another fellow beer reviewer, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. I find that people that do enjoy beers like this don't really mind stepping off the trail a little bit and trying a stout for the first time or a porter for the first time. I would recommend that you allow them to try a porter before a stout. Personally, I find a porter to be a little bit less of an aggressive stout, not too far in that direction. You know, it's got a little bit more of a watery. It's got a little bit more of a wateriness to it than the stout actually does. I think I might have said this already, but I find that by reviewing this beer, I'm just given the ability to talk about every other different type of beer out there. If I were to have poured this into a glass, ooh, I don't know if I would have been able to drink it as well. I mean, it is beer. It's not like it has a horrible taste to it. It's just kind of just feels like something's missing, you know? All right, people. That's it. Um, you know what? I've had worse beers. Now that I've been able to review a lot of different beers out there, I can actually say that I've had worse beers for sure. I'm going to give it a 1.8 out of 5. A little bit below average, but not right down there. That's probably the best I can say for it at the moment. Do yourself a favor, especially when you're drinking cheap beers because you don't have lots of money. Don't drink and drive, but drink responsibly. Cheers.